My name is Peter Skeris, and this video is to introduce you to the revised edition of my book, Mississauga, Building a Livable City, first published on Amazon in 2017. This book is an attempt to portray the current state of discussions on the prospects for large urban agglomerations in North America, such as the Greater Toronto Area, that are going to be facing new sets of challenges in the coming decades. In the book, I will present the main trends affecting the transformation of big cities that will define their chances of being livable in a fast-changing economic landscape. These discussions are presented from the perspective of Mississauga, a new and fast-growing city within the Greater Toronto Area, which has become the fourth largest urban agglomeration on the continent, after Mexico City, New York, and Los Angeles. Since the beginning of the 21st century, controversies have arisen as to which changes will become dominant and how they will determine the options for their residents. We consider these changes in their historical context, to show consequences of various attempts to solve the problems of the growing cities, and to clarify the implications for current policies. A review of the ample literature on the subject allows us to distill several crucial factors that will determine the livability of large cities in the coming decade. We start with the continued population growth worldwide and the subsequent mass migrations towards large cities, not just within countries, but increasingly across international borders, especially from regions ravaged by climate change and internal strife. These mass migrations will sustain the growth of large cities for the foreseeable future. Next, we consider the decreasing costs of communication and transportation that triggered globalization, with its large shifts of economic potential moving to lower-wage countries. Another factor in the transformation of urban agglomerations is the extensive reliance on the automobile as the means of transportation, resulting in the initially unforeseen consequences of congested roads, urban sprawl, the decline of inner-city vitality, and the environmental degradation that is triggering health problems for the entire population. In addition to globalization, increasing job market shifts are expected with the advent of intelligent digital technologies that in the coming decades will displace not just blue-collar workers, but also workers in many white-collar industries. Globalization in conjunction with technological change has already caused the erosion of many middle-income occupations, resulting in large segments of society sliding into poverty, while a small group at the top of the income scale is amassing great wealth. The growing income divide is giving rise to social tensions, extreme ideologies, and ultimately to violent acts. Finally, we have to take into account the post-war baby boom generation in Canada that is now into retirement age. The rapidly increasing elderly population, together with a low birth rate, pose new challenges for the cities and other levels of government that are providing services for the seniors. The discussion on the consequences of environmental degradation is of particular importance in times when populist governments have taken hold in the US and in Ontario, the province with jurisdiction over the Greater Toronto Area. For reasons of political expediency, these governments are putting protection on the environment on the back burner and turning a blind eye to the long-term health consequences of their reluctance to take remedial action. In the 4 decades since its inception, Mississauga has escaped the worst consequences of deindustrialization, and now is able to fully capitalize on opportunities offered by the new knowledge-based economy by focusing on innovation, entrepreneurship, and developing support systems for displaced workers and otherwise economically disadvantaged groups. While Mississauga is growing in a symbiotic relationship with the whole urbanized region of the Greater Toronto Area, it is charting its independent course of development based on the education of its future workforce, promotion of its advanced research and manufacturing centers, as well as planning for modern big city amenities. Plans are taking shape for developing a new downtown with integrated use for residential, commercial, educational, and recreational activities, all readily accessible by public transit. There is an increasing recognition among the planners that a truly livable city needs to offer not only economic rewards, but also a rewarding lifestyle in order to attract talent and continually rejuvenate its workforce. Solutions to the challenges facing the new economy will not be found until all options are discussed with their consequences and a course of action is approved by the population at large. My belief is that building a livable city is worth the effort of participating in these discussions and taking the responsibility for its future. I hope this book will encourage the reader to keep these discussions going. Mississauga, Building a Livable City, is now available on the Amazon website in both paperback and electronic format, as well as in the public libraries of Mississauga, Toronto, and the Mississauga Campus Library of the University of Toronto. My website is www.buildingmississauga.com. Again, my name is Peter Skeris. I thank you for your time and do enjoy my book.